Is heel pain plantar fasciitis? No. Okay, I'm SJ. I am the clinical director here at the Rehab Hub, MSK podiatrist, and Pilates teacher. So many people will go to their doctor or go somewhere and they've got sore feet, they've got heel pain, and they'll be told you have plantar fasciitis. Well, it's not quite as simple as that. So it may well not be. So the first thing that I would say to you is let's think about the symptoms. So it's likely to be plantar fasciitis, or we should technically say plantar fasciopathy, because it's not necessarily got inflammation in it. So if you find when you get up in the morning, so think about when you get out of bed, and that kind of first footing, so as soon as you put your foot down on the ground to go walking, and it's really, really sore, and then it starts to ease out, or maybe you've been sitting down, maybe you've been at work or sitting watching the telly or something, and you stop for a period of time, and then you go to get back up, and you're like, whoa, sore pain. Then those are good indications that it could be plantar fasciopathy, but not necessarily. Okay, what we definitely suggest you do is that you don't ignore it, because there are other things that it can be, many other things that it can be. We've got many nerves, we've got many tendons that run into that area. So we could have some sort of tendon issue there. We could have a nerve impingement. We could have bone. So think about all the structures that are in and around that ankle. And it could be vascular if we think about the arterial supply into that area as well. There could be something wrong in terms of the bone, the position. So not every bit of heel pain is plantar fasciopathy. So sorry to tell you that. So the first things first is you need a proper diagnosis. So in terms of here, what we would recommend you do is you book an initial first new patient podiatry appointment. So the details are with this video, and then we can then assess you. Now, if it is plantar fasciopathy, then don't stress. We can absolutely help with that, no matter how long you've been suffering with it. So maybe behind me, you can see we've got a few different machines in here. So we have both shockwave, which in terms of if it is something to do with tissue in terms of fascia tissue or tendons, the stuff at the end of muscles, then shockwave therapy is known. There's lots of research, lots of really good systematic reviews that will say or agree that shockwave is essentially a very, 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 very good tool to help with plantar fasciopathy. So that's certainly something we can do in here. Now, when you're dealing with something like that, we've got to get to the bottom of why your tissue is responding that way. So if we just give you some shockwave therapy, you'll definitely feel better, right? It will make you feel better, but we're not dealing with the reason that you've got it in the first place. So it's probably going to come back. That's no use. You don't want that. So we've got to deal with why your tissue is responding that way. And there's many different reasons for that. Could be that you've just upped the ante in your walking, your sport. Maybe you've put on a bit of weight at Christmas, so maybe the tissue's been loaded and it's not able to deal with it, so it's giving you a pain output. Maybe you've worn a pair of daft shoes or something, you've aggravated it, an injury. Lots of different reasons for it. So we've got to deal with those reasons. And that's our job, to help you figure that out and help you manage that. So shockwave has its place, but I hope that makes sense. It's not the only thing that we would look at. We also have to assess whether or not that tissue isn't able to cope with the load that's going through it. Because usually what will happen in those instances with plantar fasciopathy is that there's some sort of tissue load happened or happening that your tissue is not able to deal with. So we have to deal with that. So there's many ways we can do that. But usually what we'll try and do, if it's really, really sore and you're struggling with that, what we'll try and do is get you out of pain. Like, we want to get you out of pain. And we can do that by utilising things like orthotics, even temporary ones, just to get you out of pain. So you don't need to be spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds. We can pretty much make you the same day something that will help you short term, pretty reasonably priced as well, that will help you just get over the hump while you're rehabbing this. So we can sometimes put you in these temporary orthotics just to offload that tissue, to allow you to be able to just to be out of pain. We can utilise things like, obviously, we're going to be doing some sort of rehabilitation. We're going to be strengthening what needs to be strengthened and stretching out what needs to be stretched out. So you will have some sort of rehabilitation to do, right? If you're not going to be doing rehabilitation, you're not helping yourself, right? Because we've got to get the tissue stronger or better or looser or whatever it's needing. So there will be some form of rehabilitation happening in there. And then also things like shockwave. It may well be part of your management plan, not always. We do have the other machine here, laser therapy. So that's this one here. And that can be really good. So see if you're like your agony, right? Sometimes shockwave, if we come with you and even the thought of getting shockwave on that, you're not going to tolerate it. Then sometimes calming everything down with the low level laser therapy. Don't worry, we're not burning you with that. This is a low level medical grade 4 laser. So it calms the inflammation down if there is inflammation there. And it can just essentially just allow you to, again, get a little bit more out of pain so that you're then able to do the rehabilitation that you need to do to get out of this cycle of pain that you're in. So we will work with you with that. So to answer the question, is all heel pain plantar fasciitis? Hopefully I've answered that and you know that it isn't. Okay, my best advice to you, if you have heel pain, see a podiatrist. Podiatry, we specialise in the lower limb. So some of us may call ourselves musculoskeletal podiatrists. That means we specialise in the soft tissue, so the musculoskeletal side. Some of us specialise more, we've got down surgery, so we have podiatric surgeons where we're doing things like bunion corrections and cutting out Morton's neuromas and cutting out bits of nerves and things. So some of us specialise more in that. Some of us specialise more in kind of things like diabetic wound care and all of that. So some of us will go down different paths in learning and deeper diving into the more surgical route. But you're looking for this particular thing, you would start with ideally a podiatrist who is specialising more in that musculoskeletal conditions. But so look out, if you're not coming to us here at the Rehab Hub, look for a musculoskeletal specialist podiatrist or MSK podiatrist, and they are the best equipped to help you with your heel pain. Get your diagnosis and also then get your management plan to then get out of pain. I hope that helps you, and I hope you realise now that not all heel pain is plantar fasciitis.